In 1870, the first steward, W.J. Benton, was instrumental to the Dodge County Poor Farm system. In fact, he was the person who helped form the Poor Farm Committee, setting forth many of the rules and regulations for the institution. He was so dedicated to aiding those in need, he petitioned the county for money to rent a furnished house in Fremont to care for them himself. In addition to operating a poorhouse, Benton spent many hours at the courthouse pushing the idea of a farm setting where the system could someday become self sufficient. Although he witnessed the land purchase for the future poor farm, he passed away from poor health in 1878 before the house was constructed. He was the man who set the foundation of a successful system in Dodge County and was greatly missed by all. J. W. Vance replaced Benton in 1878 at the Broad Street Poorhouse in Fremont. Although his predecessor was sorely missed, Vance worked hard to fulfill his dreams and keep the program on track. He oversaw the move to the big house on the farm and readjusted the rules in an effort to help the house run smoothly as farm life differed from the city. Much of his time was spent outside with farming operations and was disrupted one day to settle differences in the house. He asked the county not to send anyone who had tendencies to disrupt the home. Once rules were established, life on the farm ran smoothly until he resigned in 1892. When J.W. Fletcher won the bid for steward in 1892, he didn't realize how challenging the position could be. It took several months to win the hearts of the inmates, along with dividing his time between the needs of the house and managing the fledgling farm. Livestock needed to be tended and more ground to be broke. Soon he found a balance and, with the help of younger inmates, found a love growing in his heart for his new family. His wife, the stewardess, also formed strong bonds with the shifting inmates, and the couple found themselves often the ones the inmates came to for counsel. It was with heavy hearts that 8 years later they left in 1900. The inmates took instantly to the next steward. Standing nearly 6 feet tall, soft spoken, and sporting a thick black mustache, J.W. Sexton came to the farm with his wife and 5 children. He had moved to the area from Missouri and claimed to have met Jesse James in person. The new steward had an easygoing demeanor and keen sense of humor which transformed the household atmosphere. Where most stewards were accepted as the boss, Sexton was more relaxed and everyone unwittingly strove to please him. He sincerely cared for the inmates and pressed the county to pay those inmates for the labor they provided in the fields. While the county agreed to this suggestion, they refused his request that burials be moved from the pasture to the city cemetery because of the added costs. He became involved with the inmates' plights, even teaching a young immigrant woman English and offering to adopt her newborn baby to lessen her burden when she left the shelter of the farm. She kept the baby and soon married, keeping in touch with the Sexton family for many years. A neighbor, Doc Sexton, thought to buy one of the poor farm horses, and the steward Sexton agreed to the price. But before the transaction could be completed, the horse in question died. The incident became a local joke that Sexton had sold Doc a dead horse. The inmates kept the joke alive and called the steward Doc from that time forward. With more ground broke to crops, enough livestock to feed the residents, an orchard and garden planted, and the household in routine, Sexton decided to make a change. Recommending the position of steward to his son-in-law, Sexton relinquished his title in 1918 and moved his family to Chicago, Illinois. J. H. Randall won the bid for steward in 1918 and moved to the farm with his wife and 1-year-old son. The stewardess comfortably filled her role in the house, having grown there with her family. Randall was a young progressive that always petitioned the county for modern equipment to replace the outdated methods of farming. He argued that a tractor could do the work of horses in a more efficient manner, poring for hours over the equipment advertisements. The county, unwilling to put forth such an investment at the time, resisted, and Randall tried to be patient. Another son, Austin, was born on the farm in 1920, and yet still no modern equipment. Randall became frustrated with the slow wheels of government and accepted a job with the newly formed Ford Motor Company in Omaha in 1922, where he prospered. Baby Austin grew and became a celebrated pilot in World War II.